Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Will from Phase 2 Skateboarding, and this is the Phase 2 podcast, where we talk a lot about skateboarding and a little bit about everything else. Hope you guys are having a good year so far, and I hope everybody had a good holiday and whatnot. We are back and ready to talk about some things. There's a lot of stuff going on in skateboarding right now. A lot of tricks going down, a lot of good interviews, a lot of good videos coming out. A lot of good stuff to watch, which is good because it's wintertime here in New Jersey. It's very cold and it's very snowy. We got about a foot of snow a couple days ago, and it's just iced up and it's not going anywhere for a while. Haven't managed to get out and skate very often in the last couple months because of the cold, etc. But I managed to go and skate a nice little covered spot in West Milford recently called the Pavilion. I don't know if anyone's heard of that, but I had never heard of it. My friend, who is good at looking up spots and finding new spots, he gave me a call randomly one day and asked me if I wanted to go the night before. I said sure. He was driving, so we jumped in the car and he drove us over there. It was a very cool spot with a bunch of self-made obstacles. I think it's a garage of an old building, and they just kind of left the garage coverage there, and people came and made their own obstacles. So you got some wall rides, you have some basic boxes, some short little rails, and just enough stuff to keep you having a little fun during the wintertime. And it was a really good time to go out. We got a couple clips. He got something pretty gnarly, which I can show probably after he posted himself, and you'll probably see that at some point. Pretty sick. And I got a little clip, and I'll show you guys that at some point here today. But yeah, the winter is just a tough time on the East Coast for a skateboarder when you use skateboarding a lot of the time to fix your mental state. A lot of us do. And when we don't do it for a certain amount of time, we start to lose our mind a little bit. It's hard to stay positive. So I've been trying to do some things lately to stay more positive and to keep my mind set from going downhill. So I've tried to do a little bit of cardio each day, some stretching, and I'm trying to get into a little bit of meditation, something that I used to do when I had a little bit more time and a little bit less responsibility. It becomes a little bit easier to make yourself sit there for however long it is and clear your mind. And so it was pretty cool to listen to PJ Ladd's interview yesterday on the 9 Club and hear him speak about all these things in a very practical way. Probably the most practical I've ever heard it spoken. I mean, he should probably do seminars. I've been having a hard time recently finding any motivation or inspiration to do anything outside of my normal realm of responsibility, and it's been kind of hard on my brain. And so watching his interview yesterday really inspired me to start thinking a little bit differently. And that was pretty cool, because not very often do you hear someone speak and it really kind of changes your perspective immediately. But I highly suggest anybody that's having a hard time right now to go and listen to the new 9 Club interview with PJ Ladd, because very well-spoken young man. He's really intelligent when it comes to emotional awareness and things going on internally that affect your external world. And it was cool to kind of see him finally open up and set the record straight on his lifestyle and the things that he's about, because I think that a lot of people, they look at him and they don't really understand where he's at. And I think that's part of his mystique. I think a little bit of that is intentional, which I think is really cool, because we don't have a lot of skateboarders like that anymore, that kind of they share a little but they don't share it all, because that's part of the mystery. That used to be part of the mystery of watching Tom Penny or watching any of these guys on the classic videos. You didn't know really what they were about. They gave him kind of a superhero like quality, and he still kind of possesses that. You can feel it, watching him sit there, and you're like, wow, this guy's like a legend, And so it was very cool to hear him speak on how he keeps himself emotionally centered while he skates. He says he does 2.5 hours each morning of yoga and over an hour of meditation. That's a very high place to commit yourself to in that lifestyle. And it's very admirable because, like I said, I'm working on doing 10 minutes of stretching each morning and maybe 5 or 10 minutes of meditation, and you work up to it. But you can definitely tell that he's worked through a few rungs of third eye awareness, and it's pretty cool to see him progress into the adult that he's become. Because back in the day, you just see this 15-year-old kid, 16-year-old kid killing it, and there's no really cue into what his lifestyle was like at that point. But it was cool to hear him say that he's kind of always had this nature to him, even when it wasn't showing on his outside. So I highly recommend, if anyone is interested in positive lifestyle or just been a fan of PJ Ladd for a long time, or you're a new fan, to go over and listen to his new interview on the 9 Club. Not a plug, I promise. Just a very inspiring interview, and I think everyone who skates should probably listen to it. So moving on, a couple weeks ago we had Chris Joslin do a tray flip down El Toro.
And then saw my daughter off in the distance, and then the next thing I knew, I popped my board, tray flipped, caught it, and was standing up from it.
So yeah, that was pretty nuts. I think the only thing crazier than the trick itself was the celebration afterwards.
I did it. I did it. I did it this time.
I fucking tray flipped El Toro. I fucking tray flipped El Toro. I fucking tray flipped El Toro.
He definitely did it, and I would say well-warranted celebration. I'd probably be screaming my head off like that too. He waited 8 years to come back there and do it, got her done, and got out of there. All credit for that footage goes to Thrasher Skateboarding, and if you want to watch the full video of his tray flip attempts, there is a My War that is up on Thrasher right now. The credit goes to them for that footage. So he went there and got that done, but now it seems that El Toro High School has filed a lawsuit against him. And so it seems that might be the last trick to go down on El Toro. Let's hope not. Let's hope that, somebody else sneaks in there and gets something done at some point. But it looks like that might be the last trick for quite a while. They filed some kind of lawsuit against him. If you go to the 9 Club, you can hear his interview about that. And it seems like kind of a hairy situation, but I think that getting the trick was more worth it for him. And I think that, Plan B or whoever manages him is probably going to sort that out. So I think Chris is going to be fine, and congratulations to him on the Sodi win and the tray flip. All right, moving on. I just wanted to talk a little bit about Nyjah Houston. He recently took a really bad slam onto his head and cracked his skull open. He was able to get up, surprisingly, and walk away. Medical services arrived and helped him, and he ended up in the hospital from that slam. I'm not going to show you the slam. It was very gnarly, and out of respect for him, it's already out there. But just out of respect for him, not to put any more bad juju on him, and I want him to recover as fast as possible. Good luck with that, Nyjah, and we're all wishing you a good recovery. And yeah, I'm not gonna show the clip because it's just I don't like even watching my own slam sometimes. So if you want to see that footage, you can find it on YouTube somewhere. It's hard to watch, and probably one of the worst slams that I've ever seen him take. So wishing him a quick, speedy recovery with that. Last but not least, I spoke a little bit earlier about my trip to the Pavilion in West Milford, New Jersey. And so I have a couple of little clips. I got a little ollie off of a bump. And there's just a couple of little clips to show you guys an idea of that spot. And here they are. Today we're here in West Milford, New Jersey. Found a little secret spot my buddy Jeff found for us. Gonna try to have a little session today. Been about a month. I've been lazy, but I'm gonna try to get it in a little bit.
Yeah.
So that was a couple clips from my recent session. That's pretty much all I got that day because honestly, I was real tired. I hadn't skated in about a month and the place was still kind of wet. My board was all slippy and slidey from all the water. But it was fun to just get out there and ride around a little bit and just see an interesting spot like that. I'm definitely going to go back there soon and try to do some more complicated things. But yeah, it was just a nice time. Just get out, get on the board, and be outside doing something positive when it's so cold and crappy out. That's pretty much all I got for you guys today. We'll be coming back with a new video very soon, and we hope you enjoyed it. And if you like this video, please try to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.